In early 2021, Karina Cooper made this shocking comment about her husband Ryan to a family friend.
She fucking hated him and would shoot him in the face.
Even so, she, Ryan, and their 3 sons spent the night of Thursday, June the 17th, 2021 together watching baseball and eating pizza. By all accounts, it was a fun and uneventful evening, but under the surface, the tensions between Ryan and Karina were as bad as it had ever been. The rumor around town was she was having an affair with a much younger man, and according to the telling text messages they regularly exchanged, they were willing to do whatever it took to be together. Then, as Ryan slept on the living room recliner early on the morning of Friday, June the 18th, they finally put their plan into motion once and for all.
911, what is the location of your emergency?
I just got a call from my sister-in-law that somebody's in their house.
Okay, someone's in her house?
Yep, I'm just pulling in now.
And you're there?
I'm just coming in very quick.
Okay.
What the fuck? What? What the fuck?
Before we begin, we would like to express our sincere condolences to Ryan's family. It's unclear when Ryan and Karina tied the knot, but by early 2021 they had been married for more than 10 years. Ryan was a hard-working farmer, cattleman, and truck driver. Over the years, he and his brother Aaron had built a thriving family business known as Cooper Farms, LLC. Karina worked at a nearby salon and helped with the business whenever she could. In many aspects, Ryan and Karina were living the American dream. They worked hard, made a good living, and had 3 wonderful sons. That said, their marriage was an absolute wreck. Ryan and Karina argued about everything from finances to how to raise the kids and nearly everything in between. By 2021, most of their arguments revolved around the affair Karina was allegedly having with a much younger man named Houston Danker. According to friends and family members, Karina often made inappropriate, shocking, and downright offensive comments about Ryan to his face and behind his back. Nonetheless, Ryan and Karina still live together at the family home at 1846 K Avenue in Traer, Iowa, about 55 miles or 88 kilometers northwest of Cedar Rapids. Houston Danker was 20 years younger than Karina and lived in Shellsburg, Iowa, about 45 miles or 72 kilometers east of Traer. Houston and Karina met when he walked into her salon one day to get a haircut. They immediately hit it off and exchanged phone numbers before he left. They began texting one another almost immediately, and before long she told Houston that she absolutely hated her husband Ryan. Within a week or two, Karina and Houston were exchanging "I love you" messages peppered with heart emojis. Unsurprisingly, some of their messages were steamy to say the least, and they eventually began talking about living together and starting their own family. But by then, Houston had 2 of his own children, and Karina had 3 sons with Ryan. During one text exchange, she told Houston that her tubes were tied, but that she might be able to get pregnant via in vitro fertilization. Houston and Karina were downright smitten with each other and anxious about starting their new lives together. But unfortunately, they had a few major hurdles to contend with first. Houston didn't make much money, and a large portion of his paycheck went to his children's mother for child support. Then there was Karina's husband, Ryan. She knew he wouldn't just let her run off with another man without making things as difficult as he could. As such, she was pretty sure she wouldn't get anything if she just up and abandoned her family. After all, their home and their other family assets were owned by Cooper Farms, LLC. On the other hand, she stood to make about $500,000 from Ryan's life insurance policy should he die. Over time, Karina became less and less inhibited when it came to telling Houston and everyone else how she really felt about Ryan. Karina sent this message to Houston just a few months after they met. "Here's hoping for a rogue semi today. Big accident, no survivors." She didn't mention Ryan by name, but there's little doubt that she had him in mind when she sent it. As tasteless as it was, it might have been her way of venting her frustration at being stuck in a dead marriage with the man and life that she really wanted were just a stone's throw away. Whatever the case, she allegedly told a friend that she wanted to shoot Ryan in the face in the spring of 2021. After that, things in the Cooper home continued much as they were before. In fact, Ryan and Karina didn't have any epic blow-ups over the following months, largely because he wasn't home that often. He regularly put in 10 to 14-hour days on the farm, and this was especially true during the summer of 2021. The Cooper house was even more chaotic at that time because they were painting and doing a few other renovations. In mid-June, Karina told her teenage son that he was no longer allowed to sleep on the living room couch like he usually did. When he asked why, she said it had to do with the renovations. Ryan, Karina, and the kids went to a baseball game on the night of June the 17th. They all got home around 8 p.m. and ate pizza together. After that, the kids showered and got ready for bed. As was the case most nights, Karina slept in the master bedroom with her two sons while Ryan fell asleep on the living room recliner watching TV. According to Karina, he was on the recliner snoring up a storm when she woke up to use the restroom around 3 a.m. the following morning. Shortly thereafter, Houston sent Karina a text. "Remember those casings, no ifs, ands, or buts." Karina replied, "Absolutely, 100%. At 3:32, Houston told Karina that he loved her, that his phone battery was about to die, and that he was on his way to her house. She responded, "Go." What happened next is still a bit of a mystery, but Karina called 911 a few minutes later. At about the same time, the Coopers' oldest son was abruptly awakened by terrifying screams coming from the living room. When he went out into the hallway to see what was going on, he saw his mother running frantically from room to room. At one point, Karina gave her son the phone and told him to talk to the 911 operator, but shortly thereafter she took the phone back, hung up, and called Ryan's brother Aaron, who lived about a mile away. Karina was absolutely frantic, but she managed to tell Aaron that an intruder had just broken into their home. Interestingly, she didn't say anything at all about Ryan. Aaron immediately grabbed a 9mm handgun and drove to the house. On the way, he called 911 and told the operator to send officers and an ambulance to his brother's home on K Avenue.
I just got a call from my sister-in-law that somebody's in their house.
Okay, someone's in her house,
Yep, I'm just pulling in now.
and you're there?
I'm just coming in my driveway.
Okay, 'cause that's up in Traer area.
Yep.
What's your sister's name?
Karina Cooper. I am armed. Do you want me to proceed? Okay. Yeah? Okay. Three kids just came out and told me to come out.
Okay. Brother's there.
She's still screaming.
Yeah, she's still screaming.
So I can find out what's going on.
But she said there was somebody in her house.
What the fuck? My brother's dead.
What?
What the fuck? We need ambulance now.
Sir?
We need ambulance.
Okay, we need an ambulance. Did somebody get shot?
What?
Did somebody get shot?
What? No, he's got blood coming out of his mouth and everything.
Ryan was unconscious, covered in blood, and laid out on the recliner with a grisly wound to his face. Karina was straddling his chest, sobbing uncontrollably and yelling for an ambulance. By then, Karina was covered in blood too. Aaron didn't detect a pulse when he first felt Ryan's wrist. He also noticed that the body was cold and that the blood on the floor, the recliner, and on his neck, head, and chest were already relatively dry, as if it had been there for a while. Tama County Sheriff's Deputy Kyle Fangman was dispatched to the scene at 4:39 a.m. and arrived a few minutes later at 4:42.
Are you the firefighter? What happened?
She said,
Where is the ambulance?
Where's the guy with the gunshot?
my brother's in the living room.
With the other deputy?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Karina, sit up. Karina?
I can't. Oh my God!
Ma'am, here. Give me your hand.
I
Let me-
can't. I
I know. That's
can't.
I'm sorry.
I can't.
Okay. Just take a deep breath in. Deep breath out, okay? Deep breath in.
I can't.
All right, well, I'm here for you. It's safe. Control your breathing, okay? Control your breathing, all right?
Somebody needs to be with my kid.
Your kids don't want to see you. You have blood all over you.
I need somebody to come get my kids.
Okay, we will work on that, but we gotta try to figure out what happened first, okay?
They need somebody with them.
Your brother's with them. Karina, I need you to sit up. Karina, I need you to sit up, okay? So we gotta figure out what happened, okay? The loud thump, do you think it was a gunshot or not? I know this is hard, okay, but... What?
I don't know that I've ever heard a gunshot. TV, yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Well, you said you have a gun.
I've never even shot it.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. All right.
He was pretty sure that Ryan Cooper had been shot in the face at close range because the wall and door behind the recliner were splattered with blood. He also saw what appeared to be a partial footprint or foot swipe in the blood on the floor. Deputy Fangman took the terrified kids into one of the bedrooms shortly thereafter because he didn't want them to see the grisly and heartbreaking scene in the living room any more than they already had. Cooper's oldest son told him that he heard loud footsteps and then a thud in the living room, but he didn't hear any gunshots. Back in the living room, Deputy Fangman asked Karina to tell him exactly what happened, but she was still sobbing so uncontrollably that he couldn't make out what she was saying. While he was waiting for her to regain her composure, he found a cell phone and a .22 caliber shell casing next to the recliner. At that point, Deputy Travis Foster arrived. He and Deputy Fangman did their best to calm Karina down, but she was totally inconsolable. It goes without saying that family members are almost always overcome with shock, grief, and stress at a loved one's death. Even so, Deputies Fangman and Foster found it suspicious that Karina was unable, or perhaps unwilling, to explain the series of events that led to her 42-year-old husband's tragic death. Investigators did not find any signs of break-in like shattered windows or broken door locks. It didn't even look like there had been a struggle in the living room or anywhere else in the house for that matter. When the children were safe and the crime scene secured, investigators took Karina to the police station for questioning.
So you fall asleep between midnight. You think that you get up around 3 because that's your kind of your usual
normal time.
Okay. And then you go back to bed.
Shut the door. The kids are in there. I went back to sleep.
Okay.
I didn't feel like I was hard asleep when it sounded like something crashed in the kitchen. It sounded like something falling, which seems to happen a lot in that house. But the house is torn apart right now because we're working on it. I've got stuff sitting everywhere.
Okay.
It was loud.
Like help me out here. Was it
So we have a wire rack in the shower, and it's on a suction hook thing, and it fell a couple days ago, and it was loud, and it sounded just like that. Not just like that, but loud like that, like a racket.
So when you turn on the light, what exactly do you remember seeing?
It just looked like he was sleeping.
Okay.
And then I walked up to him and touched his foot, and there's blood, everywhere. A lot. I started screaming a lot.
Okay.
But I knew I scared the kids because Kate came running down. I don't know what I thought. I thought somebody was in the house. I put them in my bedroom and told them to lock the door. And I called Aaron.
And Aaron lives just down the road, right? Okay. We don't know what happened. like he said, we don't know if this is a medical thing. We don't know if something bad happened or if something did something to Ryan. And that's obviously what we're trying to figure out. One of the questions I have is, do you know anyone that would have any reason to hurt him?
No.
Has he had any issues with anybody?
No, nobody. He doesn't hurt anyone.
Okay. I know you said that he is usually home by 8 o'clock, but sometimes goes to the bar with Riley.
Once in a while, yeah.
Has he talked about maybe somebody he ran into at the bar, that maybe there was... I guess I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. You know, if anyone is going to come into your house and do something to him...
Nobody.
Can't think of anybody?
Everybody loves him.
Okay. Your relationship with Houston?
Danker?
Yeah.
My friend?
Okay. And I'm going to be blunt with you and be forward with you. The only reason we ask is Aaron made mention about maybe Ryan seeing something on your Snapchat. Not that was Houston, but there was something with your Snapchat.
Last fall, there was a Snapchat that wasn't even meant for me.
Okay. Tell me about that.
Supposedly. Ryan saw it, not me. And he told me about it. It was something about a married woman and naked, seeing her naked or something like that.
Okay.
And Ryan saw it and confronted me, and I confronted Houston, who were friends on Snapchat, and that's it.
So
And he swore up and down in front of us that it wasn't intended for me. And that was the end of it.
So Houston sent us... I guess I'm not familiar with Snapchat. I don't use it.
Not a picture, Ryan took a picture of the, message that he sent through Snapchat about something about being a married woman or something. I barely even saw it because I didn't know what the hell it was.
Okay.
And he swore up and down it wasn't meant for me.
Houston.
And we had snapped each other earlier in the day that day because he got some product from my salon.
Okay.
So he said that he sent it to the wrong person.
So, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but it's safe to say that nothing is going on between you and him.
Absolutely not. After that Snapchat, I don't even talk. I don't cut his hair anymore. I told Ryan I would just keep a distance from everybody, from him, from his brother, from anybody related in that age group,
Okay.
to make him feel better. And it's been a non-issue since then.
And this was, you said last fall. Got a better time frame on that?
This snap was not last fall. It was more like this spring or late winter.
Okay.
Investigators questioned Houston Danker 4 hours later.
Why your name came up is Ryan Cooper died.
See, and
Ryan Cooper died, and one of the first, in the first hour, someone said, "Hey, we heard that Karina was having an affair with Houston." That's why you're here, okay?
Yeah.
So all I got to do is I got to sort out a few things with you about that. I'm going to get you out of here, and then we may have to follow up with you again some other time.
Okay.
But the rumor's out there, so we have to talk to you, right?
Yep.
The rumor that's going around is Ryan, or you and Karina were Snapchatting. Did that actually happen at some point?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay. When did that happen?
yeah. I mean, if it's once a week, twice, it's
Is it still going on?
with me and Karina.
Yeah.
No, I mean like I said, it's random Snapchat shit. It's
Randomly?
yeah.
And how long has that been going on for?
Oh, shit. I don't know. Probably November, October. Just, probably October, November time frame.
And you think you said what, once or twice a week?
Yeah, it's not anything just your typical like I said, Snapchat, random,
Well, keep in mind, okay,
Yeah.
so let me explain things a little bit more.
Yeah.
So we have her phone, Okay, we got
Yep.
Ryan's phone.
Yep.
And what we are able to do is we basically are able to clone everything off the phone.
Gotcha.
In order to, so any conversations that she's had with you, even if she deleted it, we can still get it. It's like FBI technology stuff. So
Right.
we'll still be able to get that. We'll be able to get locations. We'll be able to get all that kind of data. I mean, the stuff that we can do now as opposed to what we could do back in the 90s with cell phones, it's like, it's unbelievable, really.
Right.
So, there's no point in kind of dance. If you were screwing around with her or whatever, it doesn't make you a killer or anything like that, right? Guess what? People have affairs all the time. There's not a perfect marriage out there, at least that I'm aware of, where people don't sometimes do things that they don't regret, whether it's, you know, have an argument that they said something they shouldn't have, or they have an affair, or they, you know, use too many drugs, or drink too much alcohol, or gamble too much. Everybody's got weird shit going on in their life, right? Okay?
Yep.
So, I don't want you to get too nervous about it, because if you had an affair with Karina, it doesn't make you guilty of anything other than you had an affair with her.
Right. Well, and that I'll put it this way. I'll completely dumb it down. So, like, with me and Karina, the hard thing with all that rumor being spread is I was literally sitting there like I would say a gay best friend. I was having, you know, me and my baby mama split up. Okay. I was getting my hair cut by Karina, and I have 2 kids. You know, she loves kids, whatever, and she always told me, you know, if you're ever in a pinch, hey, you know, I don't have a problem watching your kids, whatever. And so we were all, you know, everybody was friends, whatever. You know, well then, you know, she watched my kids a couple times when I was in a pinch. Well then it fucking, you know how small towns talk, you know.
Exactly.
Houston's kids are over at Karina's. He's fucking nailing her, you know. And then, and I guess that's probably where Ryan probably got upset. You know, I mean,
because you kind of, again, keep in mind, I don't know you. I've known you for, 10 minutes now?
Yeah.
But you kind of got a reputation where you're pretty successful with the ladies, right?
I won.
Better luck than some. Or not as bad as others.
Years ago.
Years ago.
I mean, it's bad to say, but I'm young with 2 kids. You know,
Right.
But,
so the 2 kids from 2 different moms? Is that?
No, same mom.
Same mom?
Same mom, yep.
But you guys aren't married?
No.
And then the Snapchatting, did that kind of coincide with watching the kids, or how did that?
That's where that picked up was, you know, there for a while, Karina, she was just my, you know, cut my hair, whatever. And then, you know, I started having kids, and she, you know, I honestly needed fucking help, is what, you know, and I wasn't telling her I needed help, but I was kind of, you know, and then she offered, and that's where I would say that's where the chatting started, you know, the friendship, you know.
And then you described it as what, you're her gay friend, or how do you describe it?
The best way I could put it is, just a gay best friend, you know.
So
like when everybody around Traer was saying, oh, you know, Houston's nailing her or whatever, I'm sitting there like, nope,
So are we gonna, I mean, and I don't know, I mean, if you drink a lot or she drinks a lot, is there, I think back to college, you know, when we would get a little out of hand, like we'd send like a dick pic to somebody or something. Just is there going to be anything like that between you and Karina, or anything that you're like, well, look, we were friends, but maybe there might be something that the police might think's inappropriate. That we're not finding anything like that. Okay.
Meanwhile, as crime scene technicians went over the house on K Avenue with a fine-tooth comb, however, they never found a murder weapon. At that point, all they had to go on was the position of Ryan's body, the wounds to his face, the blood all over the floor, wall, and recliner, and what Karina and her kids told the officers when they arrived on scene. Investigators eventually tracked down the murder weapon, a semi-automatic Ruger 1022 rifle that was registered to Houston Danker. Later, forensic investigators discovered that Karina had done a number of damning internet searches prior to Ryan's death, In early November of 2022, she had researched different types of bullets, which calibers are best for different situations, and how to clean a firearm. Forensic investigators also determined that she manually switched to incognito mode so that her searches would not be saved on her device. Houston also did a number of suspicious searches in May of 2021, less than a month before Ryan was murdered. They included ways to kill people without getting caught, how to commit murder with antifreeze and sodium sulfate, and whether authorities in Iowa can recover deleted Snapchat messages. And once, he even searched for the best lawyer in Iowa. The authorities still didn't have enough to arrest Karina or Houston or to charge either of them with Ryan's murder. Then, about 2 weeks after the shooting, investigators found a second .22 caliber shell casing in Karina's living room. Karina immediately called Ryan's brother Aaron and asked him if all guns eject shell casings and what he thought of the new discovery. He found the conversation more than a little odd because he knew that Karina was relatively familiar with firearms since she spent most of her life around hunters. Karina was eventually arrested and charged with first-degree murder, but not until February of 2024, nearly 3 years after Ryan's death. Investigators still weren't 100% sure who pulled the trigger that night, but 2 months later they arrested Houston Danker and charged him with first-degree murder as well. Houston's trial is scheduled to begin in Tama County District Court in mid-August of 2025. Karina's trial started earlier but was moved to Lynn County due to excessive publicity. With Judge Lars G. Anderson presiding, it finally got underway on the morning of Wednesday, July the 2nd, 2025. During opening statements, Assistant Iowa Attorney General Israel Kodiaga told the jury that Karina ruthlessly murdered Ryan while he slept in the recliner in the living room. Next, Kieran's attorney, Nicole Watt, delivered a short but powerful opening statement for the defense.
Houston Danker. Houston Danker. Houston Danker killed Ryan Cooper. Houston Danker shot Ryan Cooper in the face. Houston Danker solicited Karina. Houston Danker manipulated Karina. Houston Danker lured Karina. Houston Danker had Karina living in a dream world. Houston Danker killed Ryan Cooper.
Mrs. Watt also claimed that despite the text messages Karina sent to Houston, that she didn't actually want her husband Ryan dead. As such, she asked the jury to keep open minds until all of the evidence and opposing theories had been presented. Later, forensic examiner Tiffany Lord testified about the text messages she had recovered from Karina and Houston's phones.
So this is from Karina's cell phone. It says, "Fucking hate him. Good morning, baby. You would have woke up to your horny wife's hand wrapped around your dick this morning, just so you know."
And 39 seconds later, what was that message?
"Here's hoping for a rogue semi today. Big accident, no survivors."
And an additional message 23 seconds later?
"Might be pregnant this time next year."
And Houston Danker's response?
"IVF, question mark. Would love for you to be pregnant this time next year. I would love babies in my slow season so I can be around to help and spend time with you and the baby as much as possible."
And Karina's response?
"In vitro fertilization, they implant your sperm and my egg, not the old-fashioned way, but our baby. Option if the surgery doesn't work."
Ryan's brother Aaron managed to maintain his composure when he told the jury about what he found in his brother's house on the morning of Friday, June the 18th of 2021.
Went in the house and Cade let me in, sorry. And Karina was laying across Ryan on his recliner.
Okay. What did you see when you got into the living room?
Ryan in the chair with her on top of him.
So she's on top of him. Any other adults in the house at that point?
No.
Did you see anyone else in the house at all? Besides, obviously, you mentioned Cade.
Cable and Cortland.
Okay. Did you see them at that point, like initially, or not?
I believe so, yes.
So you said Karina was on Ryan. Could you tell what she was doing?
Not exactly, just laying on him, up against him, I guess, like face to face.
Okay, face to face?
I think, yeah.
Okay, so her face is, you're seeing her face is literally against his face?
Yeah, kind of like you would be hugging almost. I noticed the blood. I mean,
What did you observe?
what's that?
What did you see?
Just blood on his
Where?
face, coming out of his nose and ears.
Any observations about the blood itself? Did it appear wet or dry, or no observation at all?
I remember it was either the nose or the ears. It seemed like it was drying or dry.
Next, Chelsea Savings and Loan Officer Brad Rund gave the jury an overview of the Coopers' finances prior to Ryan's death.
She was overdrawn a lot financially. Just her accounts were negative sometimes, so it was tough.
Starting with Ryan Cooper, what was his term of insurance and who was the beneficiary?
It was shelter insurance, and the beneficiary was Karina.
Okay, so and what were the amounts that we had for Ryan?
There was a $20,000 policy with a $1,000 cash value at that time, and then there was another face value policy of $500,000.
$500,000?
Yes.
And so, in other words, if Ryan were to die in a situation where insurance covers, Karina would stand to receive $500,000.
Correct.
Houston's co-worker Bradley Seek testified about 3 firearms Houston asked him to keep at his house.
At some point, while you were working with Mr. Danker, did he ask you to do something for him?
Yes.
What did he ask you to do?
Hold his guns.
Okay. How many guns did he bring you?
3.
Can you describe those firearms?
Yes.
What firearms did he bring to you?
One was an AR-15, one was a double barrel shotgun, and one was a .22 rifle.
Then, after 6 days of testimony, closing arguments, and approximately 3 hours of deliberation, the jury informed the judge that they had reached a unanimous decision just a few minutes before 5 p.m. on July 11, 2025.
All right, I have a form of verdict. For form of verdict 2, we, the jury, find the defendant, Karina Cooper, guilty of the offense of murder in the first degree, dated this 11th day of July, 2025.
Tama County Sheriff Casey Schmidt released a statement shortly after the verdict. First, he thanked everyone who assisted with the investigation and the prosecution and expressed his condolences to Ryan Cooper's family. Sheriff Schmidt also acknowledged that the verdict wouldn't bring Ryan back, but that he hoped it would give the family some modicum of peace. He reminded them and everyone else that Houston Danker's trial was coming up and that the prosecutors and sheriff's office will never stop searching for the truth.